Deadside, Shadowborn at the confluence of worlds to walk between. Lifeside is without the meaning that my partly living possesses here in Deadside, where the darkness is manifest at the edges of reason. As a god, I step forth upon the writhing, suppurating surface of the Deadside Serpent. What sleep is here? What dreams there are in the unctuous coilings of the snake's mortal shuffling. Weapon in my hand, the arcing death blow at the end of all things. The horror, I embrace it.
Games, Brains Are Banging Life here with another episode of Flashback. We're looking at Shadow Man, an action-adventure game developed by Acclaim Studios T-Side and published by Acclaim Entertainment. You know that because it always gets Acclaim at the start. Yep. It is based on the Shadow Man comic book series, which was published by Valiant Comics, something you didn't know, but now you do. The game was released in 1999 for the Nintendo 64, Windows, PlayStation and Dreamcast, and a sequel called Shadow Man Second Coming, but second with a 2 instead of the S, which I fucking hate. Like, second means you don't need to put the 2 or call it Shadow Man 2. But yeah, it's called Second Coming, was released for the PlayStation 2 in 2002. I have not played the sequel, but and I never really wanted to because stylistically it's very, very different. But I watched a video of it this very last week, and I thought, you know what, I might have to try and find a cheap PS2 just for this.
Well, I'm a fan of the game, but again, I didn't realise there was comics, or I didn't even know there was a number 2.
Oh, we'll have to look behind me afterwards. I might actually have them up there. Okay, as always, things we like, things we didn't like, favourite moments, scenes, bits of music. So, things I like. The story and the lore. Shadow Man, ignoring, even if he didn't know if he didn't know what the comics existed, like I didn't at the time. Yeah. you knew there's something more was going on here. It felt like a middle game or the sequel to something, because you came in and these were established characters.
Yep.
Nettie, Mike, Jaunty, they were established characters. And Shadow Man feels like an episode in a world. Like, you know, like season 2 of a TV series.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
But I do like that. I like the idea of going, wow, so many other stories to tell.
Yep.
They wouldn't, except for the Second Coming. But, you know, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like it makes you feel like actually you should have played a game before or a game after. But I suppose I mean, if you didn't, obviously the comics. I suppose I read them, so obviously I'm guessing the comics would have.
They do.
To the game.
Yeah, no, not so much lead to the game, because this is just based off them. Comics tell their own story, but your first couple of things, I remember having read them, basically tell the story of what happened to Mike. What we hear about his parents being killed, him getting debt, his brother being killed, and how he becomes Shadow Man, and then Jaunty and stuff like that. In fact, the first parts of the comics has the original Shadow Man coming back and wanting revenge.
Oh, wow,
cool. The visual style, really dark and twisted. We're not talking graphics here. Graphics are a completely different issue, but ultimately the visual style, from the designs of characters, be it Legion and some of the Dark Soul creatures and stuff like that, to the visual style of the game, be it the playrooms, the asylum itself, the engine blocks. Lovely, stylish.
Yeah, it is definitely, yeah.
And the last thing I've got to say about liking it, the size of the game. And in 1999, bear in mind, in 1999, we had things like Metal Gear Solid and stuff like that, but they were linear. Like, Shadow Man was huge. For me, at least.
Yep.
A huge fucking game.
Yes, definitely.
And you know, that's something, nowadays you can look at it and pull it apart and realize it's probably not as big as we thought it was, but I think in 1999 it just felt fucking humongous.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you said, if there was a map, which obviously there isn't, then, like I said, it would just literally be like one square. Because you basically are literally going in the same spots, but different like levels, I suppose you can call it,
Yeah. Got anything to add?
No, I think that's about everything,
Yeah, because this really is, the like stuff are just the most obvious stuff.
Yeah.
All right, well, tell us some things you don't like about it then.
So, obviously, the cameras and the controls.
Yep.
You know, the cameras are... Well, what I say, obviously, I mean, the worst camera is when you're swimming.
Yep.
You know, swimming underwater is an absolute nightmare. When you're swimming in the lava, it's just like literally, it's impossible to see where you're actually going.
Yep.
The fact that there's no map.
Yep.
There's no map. You know, you can constantly get lost. You're going backwards and forwards, and I mean, the wasteland is the worst area.
Yeah, I mean, the no map thing is something we will bitch and moan about Shadow Man until we're dead in a grave. You didn't even need to have to signpost shit for us. You could have just had just something that indicated where areas connected up. The amount of fucking times I was like, shit, where was that shadow gate that had 6 souls in it, like 6 markers for the souls? Where was that in the wastelands? And often I'd go back and be like, all right, I'll start off at dead side and just walk my way through. And then you'd be like, they still haven't found it. That's infuriating, because it would be like in a corner, tucked away out behind a goddamn rock outcrop and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be like, okay, cool, I've unlocked the ability to climb up the waterfalls now.
Yep.
Where are they? You know, that's big one. Lack of any variation, something that's no more obvious than in Asylum, is a really disappointing lack of them. And that's in Asylum, they're all the same skin, mostly all the same skin, just with different weapons, which is infuriating. And no, it's not that fun. Not that fun. I'm pretty sure, like me, after a certain point, you just start trying to avoid them. And just start trying to run away rather than fight them. But often, because it's corridors, you kind of have no choice.
To fight,
you know? And like, if you get caught up in a wall, if you get caught against a wall with a chainsaw guy, you're dead. Yeah, you're dead.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I like, for example, the sisters, when you walk into a room, you're like, oh, fuck, here we go again.
Yeah.
There's another bunch of them in the next room. There's more.
And another bunch, and so on.
Like,
Absolutely.
It's so repetitive.
It is. Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the sisters as well. There's an enemy variation that is a joke. Yeah, there's nothing. They're the same one, and it's just one room to the next room in the temple, and more of them, and more of them, and more of them. Yep, absolutely. And last thing really that we don't like, because we have got 10 things about Shadow Man, so we don't want to break too much into this. It's the final boss. It's just very, very disappointing. All that effort to face off against Legion as his human form, he dies within 2 hits.
Yep.
And then, you get this weird monster-looking boss that flies around, and it's a bullet sponge. And that's it. It's crap.
Yeah.
It's a crap ending.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, favourites, moments, scenes, or bits of music. Now, I actually have a couple. So I'll do one of them. Your very first arrival in Deadside. So the very first time you teleport in there and you get your narration and you land and you're standing there and you're knee-deep in bloody water. There are bloody waterfalls nearby. There is the sound of these moaning, crying creatures. That's fucking excellent. That's like, wow, this is dark, you know? Even that same area, you eventually make it to the Marrow gates, and it's like, oh, there's a massive set of gates there that are clearly a ribcage. All while Asylum looms over above. Yeah. I think that's fucking cool.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's dark. It's
twisted.
Yeah, it's twisted. Yeah.
Avery Marks' hotel room. Hotel, should I say. Or the Home Improvement Killer, his hotel.
Yep.
Now, it is a bit of a nightmare to navigate because basically it's dilapidated, so a lot of holes in the floor, and it's very dark. So you've got to go up levels to the top, basically. Now, I don't remember... The thing I love is uncovering as you open doors and finding the horrors. He was a serial killer. He's killed a lot of people. Now, I found something in the Steam version that I'd never seen before. And I don't know that means it was cut and added later back, and it was a room with hanging corpses hanging off chains. Never seen it before. Walked in, like I walked in a room where there's bloody remains, but this one I was like, I don't remember ever seeing this. I was like, shit, that's really twisted, like hanging corpses off, I mean,
I said I've recently completed the N64 and the Dreamcast version, and doesn't sound familiar.
So that was kind of cool as well. But yeah, his hotel is I would say it's the scariest place of all the killer's places, more than anything else. Jack's has this lonely kind of feel to it, and emptiness, but Avery Marks is, and I guess it's kind of because it's like you can picture like him looking at you through peepholes in the wall and stuff like that, you know? Yeah. Gaining the tattoos to walk on lava. That one specifically. Now I love this is one of my favourite moments because of what a significant upgrade it was for a person who at the time was struggling like crazy, running out of places to go, finally gets the ability to go that extra step to get to that area, and then you unlock this tattoo that allows you to walk on the lava. That's probably one of the biggest, most significant upgrades, or the biggest obstacles you face. Yeah. And it's like, and it's that moment where you're like, oh, I can walk on lava now, and your head goes, I can go back to Asylum, and I can do this, and I can do that, and you're like, oh, sweet, yeah, that's fucking cool. Yeah. You got any?
Okay, so I would say obviously Jaunty. Mm-hmm. You know, Jaunty is obviously he's as a character he's brilliant. You know,
add some levity to a game.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely different. I mean he's a snake. He's Irish. He wears a top hat for Christ's sake, and he just loves to play mind games. Yeah, it's enjoyable. You know,
adds a bit of comedy to it.
Yeah, definitely.
To a game that's very very dark most of the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Hello there, Michael. How's that treating you?
Jaunty, kindly refer to me as Shadow Man. Michael Leroy has no place here in Deadside.
Whatever, Mick. It's good to see you again. Seems like simply ages since I last set me eyes on your happy, smiling mug.
The feeling's mutual.
I suppose you've been away dallying with the old battle axe, giving her one with some of that righteous voodoo so she can stay forever young?
Something like that.
She's been filling your head with her fated pillow talk again, I'd bet. Doomsday in an army giddy until you're drunk with the stuff.
She did happen to mention a certain prophetic dream she's been having.
Did she now? Well, for once I think the owl witch might be right. See that bloody big black tower yonder?
How could I miss it?
Well, old Bruegel, the medieval painter blokey, was just telling me the other day that he thought it looked remarkably like a picture he once did.
Is that Peter Bruegel?
No, Seamus, his distant Irish cousin. Anyways, he was quite shocked, so he was, at the terrible mess that bloody thing's making. Appearing out of nowhere and tearing its way through the place like there's no tomorrow. Which, given what Nettie's saying, might not be too far from the truth.
Any idea what's going on in there?
Nope, and I shan't be knocking on the front door to find out neither. All I'll say is, if there's something wicked heading this way, it'll be coming from in there.
Nettie mentioned the Dark Souls. Can you tell me any more about them?
I'm afraid I'll have to reply in the negative again, Michael. Suffice it to say, Nettie's told me that they're bloody powerful, well nigh indestructible, and shouldn't fall into the wrong hands.
Any idea where they might be?
What am I, a Dark Soul travel guide now? I suppose you could try all of the ancient sacred places down amongst the whalers and shiverers. We just hope that none of them souls have ended up in that filthy big black tower.
From what Nettie was saying, some of them already have, which is all the more reason for me to be pushing on. Open the gates, Jaunty.
Places to go, people to see, eh, Michael?
Just open the gates, Jaunty.
Did I ever tell you about the time me and Attila the Hun were playing skittles with the guillotine heads of the French aristocracy?
Jaunty.
All right, keep your bloody hair on. Which, looking at your shining bonds, may prove to be rather difficult. Open sesame!
All right, I've got one more thing about it, which is music, and it's the playrooms.
Yeah.
It's simply the playrooms. If you know the playrooms, you know it's the weirdest and darkest part of the game.
Yeah, definitely.
What sounds like a child playing with a toy, while nursery rhyme music plays, leads to something potentially the child getting a drill into it. The sound of something evil, clown-like laughing, a woman crying, and it'll replay over and over again.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not a nice piece of music.
No.
It's disturbing. It's downright disturbing. And there's nothing like that in the rest of the game. There's plenty of gothic and over-the-top grandness and cool tracks, but the playrooms, for some reason, is just weird.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anything else to add?
No, that's it.
There you go. That's Shadow Man. Shadow Man on the PS1, Dreamcast, PC, and Nintendo 64. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. Go to Patreon and help us out over there. That's patreon.com/GBHBL, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?